Hello, hello, hello. How's everyone doing tonight? Hello, it's Tuesday. Welcome. So tonight we're making, I figured to wrap Christmas in July, we do Santa. Hi, Anna, I see you. So tonight, usually I live stream with Haniela, and she's in the middle of a move right now, so I'm going it alone. So those of you that are watching via YouTube, I usually stream on Facebook, but I got a new stream service, and so we're going to do the double tonight and see how that goes. So hello, Anna. Hello, June. Hello, sweet mama. Byron. Hello. So hello, everyone. I'm seeing a lot of YouTube comments. Anyone on Facebook? Doesn't look like I'm getting any Facebook comments. Okay, so if ever there's any kind of issue, please let me know. Sometimes I'll have sound issues, but tonight I'm hardwired, so it should be okay. Hello, Sylvia. Hello. And so tonight, just to show you, I've got this new thing here. I can add your comments. Hello, Ruth. Hello, Maruchui. And so I'm able to add your comments, which is fun. So, all right, we're going to get started on the actual. I'm just going to figure out now how to hide the comments. There we go. Okay, so let's go into the actual tutorial. So this is the cutter I'm using. I did add it to the description box if you want to check it out. It's there. This is a 3D printed cutter, and I don't dislike the 3D printed cutters, but these ones here that are really sharp, like to the edge, what I don't like about them, if you watch my videos, is I like to kind of reuse cutters and make different things. And so this is like usually more difficult to kind of do a flip with. You know, it's very, very precise on the line. And so that's what I don't like about these cutters. But this particular one, I got it 50% off, so not a huge deal. I'm going to play a little video for you just to show you how, because I get my guidelines on with these little stencils that I make. And I'm just going to show you this video quickly. And that's me drawing in my graphics program. And so I draw the guy in black. I'll play it again. And once he's all black, then I come in and do the white lines, and that's what my silhouette cuts. It cuts the white lines, and then boom, I have this stencil there. And so once I have my stencil, I'm going to airbrush my guidelines. So I'm just adding a piece of paper towel underneath to catch that. And here's my airbrush. And that's wireless. You can have it plugged, but the great thing is that you can use it without you don't have to be plugged in. And sometimes you don't have a plug close to your work surface. And so I'm just hitting inside the holes. And this is gold, but without metallic. And it's a good color, since if it does show, like once your cookie's done, well, it just looks like a, maybe the cookie got browned or looks like a shadow. It doesn't look like so visible. So there are the guidelines in one fell swoop. So that's usually what I do. And since I only really make cookies for tutorials, I throw these out, since I rarely make the same cookie twice. It wouldn't be making much sense if I decorated the same cookie for all my tutorials. So here, let me just, Byron, you're asking if my multicolor owl Thank you, Byron. So let me go back to my, I'm not sure how to remove, oh, that's it. I'm new with this program, so I'm just trying to switch my stuff around and figure it out. So hello, everyone. So I'm going to go through Dana, Cass, Andrea. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. So I did work a little bit today, some prep. So this guy here is a little bit more ahead. And I'm just going to show you a picture here. Now, I do love to add candies to my um, my cookies. So here, these cookies have jelly bean noses, and then these ones is gummy bears and gummy worms. I mean, and again, the gingerbread can have jelly beans. So I just like to use candies, and so today we're going to be doing a jelly bean nose on um, the Santa Claus. So first thing I'm working in, I'll do, I think, the black. So the candies, oh yeah, I'm doing a jelly bean, and I'm also going to be adding a candy cane. So why don't we do the candy cane part first? So it's just these inexpensive candy canes. You want it to be kind of a good size. So Santa's holding the candy cane. You could have a bigger one, but this is a good size for it like that. And so what I'm doing is I'm grabbing the mitten color and I'm adding, here's one that's done. So I'm adding, just for it to look like the mitten is holding that jelly bean, you see? So I'm just, with the blue royal icing, I'm just doing like a mitten on the jelly bean. And the great thing about royal icing is it dries hard. And so you can come in with your needle, and you can make these in advance and set them aside to dry. And obviously, have them covered so they don't get dusty or anything. But then you'll be able to add these quickly to your cookie. So then you have the little mitten clutching. I had initially thought I was going to do the mitten green, but then it didn't contrast as nicely. And I can see my camera's picking up the blue, maybe a little green, but they're light blue, the mittens. So I'm just going to move them now so that it can dry. The other ones that I made, but I just wanted to show you. And now I'm going to add the feet first. I'm working in black, or I don't usually take my black. It's unnecessary to go like jet black. So this is just like charcoal, like pretty dark. My hole is on the small side. Let me just make it a little bit bigger. So you're better to cut small and adjust than to have it too big. You can't really glue the plastic back on once you cut it. And now I'm just adding a little like oval shape here to create the boot on the foot. And then I'm just fiddling with the icing to get the ripples out. So my icing is on the thick side so that it will like still remain like a bubble. If your icing is super runny, well, it lays really flat. So the fact that it's like thicker gives it some muscle to stay up and more perky. You're not going to get just like a varnish on the cookie. You get more like a layer of icing that's more like chubby. It stays up. So the runnier your icing is, the faster it heals, but then it dries super fast. Okay, so let's see here in the comments again. Andrea, hello. Leah, Kristen, thank you so much. The airbrush, I have everything in the Facebook group, in the Facebook album. So if you look in the description box, I did put a link to the album where I have all my kind of tools. My sound is awful. Let me try this. Tell me if that's better. Thank you, Susan. So is the sound better? I muted one of the cameras because that's the thing too. The new program wasn't letting me do multiple cameras. So I might just disable the other one. Okay, so now here I'm adding with the blue, the little mitten. So the same thing here, the icing's on the thick side, you can see it. And there, I just have to fiddle with it a little bit to heal it. So sorry about the sound issues. I cannot hear what you guys hear, so I can't test it on my side. Unfortunately, it's very difficult to do the pre-test. So for the face, he's really very pink. Now, obviously, you can make your Santa, his skin any color you want. I chose this pink color to match my jelly beans because I wanted to use jelly bean noses. And so that's why I kind of went for that pink color. But you could do any color you want. Hello, Lynn. Okay, so now I'm going to grab the pink for the eye, for the face, and I'm using pearls for the eyes. So these are 4mm pearls. You could certainly do icing if you want for the eyes. I personally do like the pearls. When you push the pearls in, it creates like a bit of a dimple and it looks like more like an inset eye, like on a toy. So I do like that. So normally when my friend Hanielis is with me, she reads the comments to me and it's kind of a little bit more interactive. Tonight I'm alone, so it's a little bit trickier for me to both read and decorate. So I'll decorate for a bit and then I'll read. She'll be back soon. She's just settling into her new place and stuff, so we'll give her a little breather. So again, I'm just healing up this icing and then I'm going to grab, you could do it with your hands, but I use the little tweezers, just makes it a little bit easier for placement. Once the little pearls are in, I'll further heal the icing. So I'm just going to give them a little push in and you can, I don't know if you can see there on the camera, but it causes like a bit of a dimpling around the eye and just makes it look a little bit more realistic. You don't want to add the eye after this has had time to dry or else he's going to look really bug-eyed, like his eyes are going to be sticking out of his head, and we don't want Santa to be scaring the children. And now I've got my red icing and I'm filling a lot. As we know, Santa has a lot of red. So some of you, if you missed at the beginning, I'm doing Santa to wrap up Christmas in July. It's my last live in July. Can't believe that it's already, July is done. So I just thought I'd do Santa. I know it's a bit peculiar, but I was actually filming some Christmas videos in advance and I had these cookies. I thought it would be fun. And now that I see him right side up, his eyes are not quite in the position I'd want. So let's do something that normally I don't like to do, but we're going to do it just to show you guys. So let's say you don't like something on your cookie. Well, you just scoop it off like that, and that's it. And then you get to start again. So don't worry if you make little mistakes. Nobody sees that, the work in progress. So don't worry about that. You just correct it and move on. When I'm filming, because of the camera, how it's set up, I'm decorating essentially upside down. So I turn the cookies so that you guys see it right side up, but for me, it's upside down. And so the eyes were not good when I flipped it. It looked a little bit peculiar to me. So another trick to level the icing is to shake it. That agitation causes the icing to level. And let's see if we can get the eyes a bit better to there. That's better. And now I'm going to press them in. I'm noticing my pearls aren't exactly the same size. It's not a huge deal, but if you want to look at them, depending on the brand. Some people have issues with the bleeding of the pearl into their icing. You want to look for a brand that's called PME. So it's letters PME. I'm going over to the comments. Goodness in every bite. Hello. Penny, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Okay, so now we've got that done. So we're going to move on with the red. I'm going to add this arm over here. So I'm leaving a space between the like red sleeve color and the mitten so that I can then add a little cuff. You're welcome, Irene. I try. And now for his pants, let's do his pants. And you see where the guidelines come in. It just makes the guesswork, like you don't have to wonder, oh, which part is this or whatever. You can just blindly kind of decorate and not worry so much about placement. And the lines are added very quickly with the airbrush. I personally like that better than with a projector. The projector, not everybody finds it easy to use. Sometimes your hand will block the projection and stuff like that. And I've seen people actually trace before they actually decorate. So it's kind of counterproductive. This way you're doing it just one time and it's done. So now I'm adding up to here. I'm going to add this line. So that's the fur at the end of his jacket. So normally in the actual like image that the person designed this as, he's holding a gift. But tonight I wanted him to hold a candy cane. So it's a bit like there's a bit of an opening here that's not going to have anything. The gift would fill that area, but I wanted to switch it up and have that candy cane. So that's why there's an opening. And now I'm just healing it up. Sometimes when you take your needle into one color of icing, then you go to the other, you're going to drag that color in. So make sure you wipe the needle before you go into that other color. And now I want to wait for this to dry so I can come in and add this little arm. But for right now, I'm done. What happens is if I do the color next to it that's touching, well, they'll melt together. This way, if I do everything that's not touching, then I'll be able to have a little bit more definition on my character. And let's just see here. You make 5,000 Christmas cookies. Oh my gosh. Yeah, royal icing. I mean, the thing is with any other cookie, you can't really wrap it, right? If you're using buttercream, some people don't like the taste of royal icing. I can't say that I love it too, but you can wrap it so easily. And so that's kind of why, right? We use that. And now I'm going to switch my cookie here. Let's move this guy and put this one here on the work in the limelight. And now I've got my white icing for the beard. So I've got two consistencies for the white. I've got white for the beard and white for the kind of fur, you know, on his jacket and such. So I'm taking, take your time to fill here, all this area. So you can potentially have bleeding from your red to your white. That does occur, which can be very annoying. You could maybe speed up the drying process. That can be helpful. You can do that with a dehydrator or with a fan or even a heat lamp. The faster you can get the icing to dry, the less of an exchange, because really what's happening, it's an exchange of moisture, which carries the color into the other area. And so humidity can cause the bleeding too. So I didn't realize my white was so thick, but I think I'll be able to get it to heal. So I'm going to shake this guy. There. All right. And you can color, I guess, the beard so that it's not the same color as the fur. But I find that just having, did I just put red icing in his beard? I think I did. I find that just having the different consistency is enough to create the separation between the two areas. I'm just going to heal this up. So you can see there, that's pretty good. And now I'm grabbing my thicker icing. Oh, you know what? I think I'm going to drop my jelly bean in that wet icing. So jelly beans have a bit of a shape and a flatness. So you want to lay it on the flat area so that it rests better on the cookie. So there's the jelly bean on the cookie there. You want to press it in a little bit gently so that you don't cause the icing to like kind of buckle. If you do it at this time, it sinks in and will secure better. If you stick it on after when everything's dry, it could chip off in the bag. So you might want to do it this way. Hello, Lena from Brazil. Hello. Oh, don't be scared here. Sonia, don't be scared. I mean, if she asked you, she clearly trusts you. So just make the cookies and don't worry about it. I always keep the dehydrator at the lowest setting. And I'll leave them, you know, at least 20 minutes and up to an hour. The jelly beans, I use the actual Jelly Belly, not because I'm a huge fan of the Jelly Belly brand, but because they're smaller than like a store brand jelly bean. So I like the size for cookies. That's why I use the Jelly Bellies. And now here I've got stiff icing with a star piping tip, and I'm coming in now, and because the icing is thick, you see it holds the lines from the star tip. And so now I'm able to come in and finish my little details. And here I'm doing the trim on his hat. So I'm just going back and forth here. And you want, I don't even know the number here, but you want a star that's relatively small. You don't want to have a super big star. Let me just get in the right area here. And then here on his little cuff, on where his boots are, I'm doing like a bit of a circular motion right here. There. So you're just filling in what was open. And you can stop. You just stop where it's going to be hidden. You see there I stopped, and so when I continue, when I go over, it hides where I stopped. So there. And now, let's see if I can do it, if I can add his. So I'm going to do a big swirl of icing to do like the cuff, okay? And now I'm grabbing the candy cane and I'm putting it so that like the fluff there looks like the cuff is there, and that's what's going to hold here, and here is what's holding. And it's going in the beard, but it's not a huge deal. It seems to be not too bad in the beard. I'll see if I can get it to level. And there the candy cane is secure in these 3 spots to secure. So we've got the jelly bean and the little candy cane. And these are the minty ones. Not everybody likes that. You can get the ones that are more kind of like, you know, the cherry flavored and stuff, a little bit more kid-friendly flavors. I'm going to go back to the comments. 1 second. It's hot in Montreal too, Debbie. I know, but it's the last day of July, so I just thought it would be cute. So let's see here. We have a question from Bobby. You're freezing your raw cookies. I don't freeze raw cookies. I freeze baked cookies. For me personally, they don't bake as well when they've been frozen for a prolonged amount of time. So I'll bake them and then freeze them. But yeah, I would put parchment paper in between. And another thing that I've purchased that's cheaper than parchment paper is actually donut paper. Donut paper is cheaper. Parchment paper can really, like, I use it all the time, but it gets expensive. And so if you're using it in between all your cookies on top of baking with it, gets pricey. You could try that donut paper. That's super cheap. And thank you, Lynn. Oh, thank you. I'm a little stressed. Ontario, yes, a fellow Canadian. Thank you, Charlotte. Thank you. So, okay, so this guy's done, and I'll finish off this one. It might not go as well because it hasn't had as much time to dry, but we'll see how it goes. Oh, one more thing on this guy here. I'm going to add little eyebrows. I find that eyebrows, if I can fit them, I find that eyebrows kind of add to the little faces. So there it is. I would think I was out of frame to do that, but there's his little eyebrows. Okay, so let's move this guy here into there. So let's start with his little beard. Right like so. So those of you that might be interested, I have a virtual cookie school that you can access, like my full-length speaking videos, and many of them include the templates. So the link to that's in the description box. And I'm doing, like now what I'm finishing off is the cookie that I decorated just before. So this icing hasn't had time to dry. The other one was done earlier today. So we'll see. Ideally, you know, you give your cookies a bit of time to dry before moving on to other steps, but we'll see how it goes. So I'm going to give it a little shake. And now that I did the first one, I know that I have to do the cuff, the stuff that's going to stick the candy cane. So I'm going to focus on that. So I'm going to work on the cuff, the waist, so that I can get that candy cane in the icing as quickly as possible. So let's heal up the beard. I got to put the jelly bean. Where's my pink jelly bean? So here are all my noses. I have orange noses for snowmen. I have the black for reindeer or critters, like a little bear, things like that. I don't really love the taste of a black jelly bean, but they do make for really sweet noses. So that's what I buy them for. I don't know if the kids are very disappointed when they bite into a yucky black jelly bean, but That's what they get. Okay, so here, I forgot. And this is going to mess me up too. So here there's an arm in like this red icing. We'll see how it goes because it hasn't had time to dry. So we'll see if I can squish it in and not damage it too much. So here's the cuff to hold the candy cane, and then I'll just do a bit and then I'll continue on this. So I'll stop here and I'll try to squish in my candy cane. So it's about like that there. Okay. And so now it's sank into the arm, the beard, and it's okay. And now I can continue here to add the trim on the bottom of the jacket. There. And over here on the edge of the boot. There. Thanks, hon. My husband is watching. He doesn't get enough of me. He's watching me live stream. I guess we're doing not too bad with our Corona quarantine. All right, my pom-pom here. There. And now I'm just going to finish off on the hat here. So I find that the circular motion is looking better than just the zigzag. So you might want to do this circular motion. What's happening is that since there's no icing there, it's kind of indented. So the zigzag is causing like a dent in. So if you go round, it's filling the area as it creates like the volume. I don't know if that makes sense, but. And now I'm just going to add those eyebrows again. Just with that same icing, just like that. And there he is. Now, once he's dry, you could come in with a little marker and add a little smile if you wanted. And there they are. So I'm going to go back to the comments to see if there's any questions. Hello, Roxanne. Oh, lucky you're in Hawaii. That's on my bucket list. Sonia, you created a coronavirus cookie. Oh, well, you can send me a pic. You can send them on Instagram or you can send them on Facebook, and there's a place to comment there. Nancy, you get donut paper at kind of restaurant supply places, you know, like food, if you buy like where you'd buy cake boxes and stuff like that, that's where I get it. Where you buy kind of commercial parchment paper and everything. It's what they use when they're serving food at many places, you know, like the takeout stuff that they just kind of wrap up and put in your hand. So Charlotte, oh, Han is okay. She's moving. And so she's kind of just in the middle of it, in the heat of it. And so that's what's going on with her. She'll be back soon. Thank you, Sandy. Oh, the hand killing you. Yes. Well, how many years? I've been doing cookies since 2006, I think, 2006, something like that. Here, this is the one I wanted to show here without your hand killing you. Really, it's consistency, like your icing consistency. Try not to have the icing too thick for nothing. And, you know, simple designs so that, you know, it's not so much detail so that you can work somewhat quickly. Maybe look into dipping cookies. If you can dip your base coat, that can make you work a little bit faster. That maybe are some tips. And there's a contraption also that goes on the piping bag that helps to squeeze. It's it's like a kind of looks like a garlic press thing, but not. And you just pop the bag in there and it does a bit of the squeezing for you. It helps a little bit. I do large cookie cutters, Debbie, because I'm filming videos. Like this cookie here, this Santa's 5 inches tall from his foot here to the top of his head. He's 5 inches tall. And so these are, I call favor cookies, cookies you'd give as, you know, at the end of a party or something like that. They're not ideal to serve at a party to eat, you know. But because I'm filming videos, I want to have a big cookie to showcase. And so that's why I use such big cookies. But they're not really ideal for if you're having a party at your house. You want to look at 2.5, 3 inches. You don't want to have a 5-inch cookie. People are just going to waste them, take 2 bites, and then put them in the trash. Thank you, Penny. The cookies, really, Connie, it depends on your area. Sometimes will be a factor with regards to pricing. So you're not going to get the same price in Los Angeles as you're going to get in Vermont. So you want to look at that. And also don't undercut yourself. If you're charging really cheap, you're really at the end of the day just hurting yourself, because then you get resentful. You know, if you're making cookies practically for free for strangers, well, nobody's doing your laundry for you while you can't do your house stuff and your personal things. So make sure you price, maybe call around and see what people are selling in your neighborhood and stuff like that, but don't don't try to go lower so that you can get the business. It's not worth it. It's not worth selling for less. Let's see here. These cookies are, yes, these ones are shortbread. Actually, these cookies are, and I don't know if I have one here. I've been making them. I started at the beginning of the pandemic to make them vegan, not because I'm a vegan, but because I couldn't get eggs. And so I'm doing 3 tablespoons of water to 1 tablespoon of cornstarch. And I've loved how my cookies have been turning out ever since I've been doing that. So that's kind of what I've been making since the pandemic. And I think I'm going to continue with the recipe since I don't need to use eggs anymore. Usually the cookies sit around when I'm filming, so nobody's eating them, but I tasted them. They taste fine, even though there's no eggs. Thank you so much, Charlotte. Thank you. Well, you can get more detail on a big cookie. The basic starting price, I wouldn't go anything under $40. $30, I mean, if you look at how much it costs to buy all your ingredients, to have everything, the sprinkles, the cutters, everything, to just outfit yourself, I really wouldn't sell them for under $40. And then as soon as you start looking at more detail, I'd say $60 a dozen. I know like some people jump at that, but it's really, if you start really pricing everything, your electricity, like everything, it's not worth it to go too cheap. Bonjour, Tulip. Someone from Montreal. There's no one-stop shopping with regards to cookie supplies in Montreal. With the language laws, I think maybe that be part of it. Some stores are limited in what they can sell. And so I order a lot online. Cutters, a little bit at Arrai's, but really there isn't a whole meringue powder from Obus, and I saw Mayran sells that, the meringue powder. I buy a big box from Barthelette, the brand, and that's the best that I've found locally. You're charging $2 a cookie. I hope they're small. Thank you, Maria. Thank you. You have over 700 cookie cutters. Yeah, well, that's it. We all have we all have, if you're an avid cookier, we all have a lot of cookie cutters. Yes, but it's far for me. And if I'm going to order from somebody, it's the same price for me to order from Montreal as it is to order from Ontario. And the selection in the Ontario stores is a little bit better. So if I'm going to get the shipping anyway, I just order from, I order a lot from How Sweet Is That I think she's in Barrie, Ontario. So that's it. Valerie? Hello? Jeannie's meringue powder. Yes, you're not charging enough. If you're using specialty products like that, I mean, if you're doing, like, there's two things you need to consider. If you're at the beginning of your cookie adventure and you're building your portfolio and you're trying to get your name out there, okay, maybe it's okay to go a little bit low. But if you're getting a lot of orders because you're you're less, well, then you're not building your portfolio. You're just, giving people a deal, and it's really not worth it. I did not find back in the day when I used to do orders that giving people a deal was advantageous long term. This business of people telling you they're going to get you more orders and they know people and they're going to this, that, and the other thing, don't even bother with that. Charge as much as you can. Don't worry about the discounts. You don't get a discount when you buy your flour and your eggs, so never mind giving everybody a deal. So I think that's it. So that's Santa for wrapping up July. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, you can continue to post them. I'll answer during the week. I look at my notifications and I answer when I see. So thanks so much for joining me. Thanks so much for watching. If you have, there's, like I said, the supplies are in the description box. I added the links. And thanks for joining me. Thank you, Jennifer, Charlotte. Thank you. Thanks, everybody. And hopefully, I think not this Friday, but maybe the next Friday after that, Han will be back. So thanks, everybody. Have a great evening. And I'll see you probably next Tuesday. Bye. Bye, Donnie.